A big thank you to the sponsor of this video, eTrailer.
Just after 3 years of full-time RV living in our fifth wheel, we thought, let's change it up a little bit and go completely off the beaten path. And since we love our RV and we love our truck so much, let's buy a truck camper.
And nope, we're not getting rid of this one.
Angela looked at these at the Hershey RV show last year, and she's been talking about it nonstop and all the interesting things we can do in a truck camper. So I finally gave in. Everything in here, on here, including our tailgate, has to come off because our truck bed camper that we bought is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is a little less than 5 hours from here. We want to go boating and see our friends and see our kids today, so we're going to try to get this ready because we're leaving super early in the morning. I kept seeing something in the rearview mirror and I realized it was my bed mat, and even though I have it taped down, it was still starting to fly up in the front corners. Couldn't find tape anywhere, so I thought, what's cheap and heavy? Case of water.
You know what else goes away with the tailgate being gone? A backup camera. So that keeps freaking us out. Every time that he backs up, we're like, whoa, what's going on?
We actually had a comment on one of our videos a while back about how heavy our empty truck weight was. And we do carry a lot of stuff in our truck when we're doing the fifth wheel thing. Since we're going to pick up the truck camper today, we're going to get an empty truck weight with nothing in it. Full tank of fuel, dogs, me and Ange, and I've got one small toolbox just in case I run into any trouble today.
And a case of bottled water.
So our gross with the full tank of fuel, just the truck and us in it, is $93.60. And the last time we did it was $98.80. So that's a little over 500 pounds we pulled out of the bed.
Wow. We have crossed into Wisconsin. Quick pit stop at the rest stop to get our bladders empty so we can concentrate. The dogs got to get out and stretch their legs a little bit since they're gonna have to be good while we get this done. We're just a few minutes out from Milwaukee, which is where we're headed. We're getting excited, a little nervous because we don't know what to do.
I've been excited. I woke up excited this morning. We basically bought a truck camper over the phone. We're really interested. I mean, I think we're a go on it. I just wanted to make sure, you know, like when you hook the tie downs up, they're on the outside of the bed and not the inside, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the roof's in good shape. I think you said no leaks or anything on there. What are you wearing? My stuff, minus the pants and the shoes. My shirt, for sure. We're about to get dirty.
You told me to wear something I don't care about. I don't care about this coat.
We had to do something to the truck to make it compatible with the truck camper, and that involves a little bit of install work, which we're going to do today. We've been learning and researching and watching YouTube and reading articles and talking to people for months to try to just get ready to take this on. I'm gonna guess less than 45 minutes for the back.
Sure, okay, I believe you.
There's several different ways to mount them. Sometimes it's a permanent attachment. You've got a little hook that sticks out here. You got some things that mount inside the bed that come over. Some of the smaller truck campers actually do mount all inside the bed. Since this is going to be a partial use vehicle for us, we're going to go with the TORKLIFT mounting system that goes straight to the frame. So these are customized to our 2024 Ram 3500. What's nice is they mount directly to the frame, and when you're not using your truck bed camper, you can just disconnect the tie-down piece, and we shouldn't even be able to tell these are on here. We got all the stuff we needed for this project directly from eTrailer. I talked to Christine, one of their customer service enthusiasts. I gave her a lot of information about my truck, but she had a lot of questions that I didn't think about, like how far do my running boards stick out? And have I changed my tire size or my ride height or anything like that? Because a lot of things on these trucks plays into these custom mounting systems, and they're gonna have the information and the questions that you may not even know to ask. We just replaced the factory bolts. So there's nothing new going on here. We just removed the bolts out of the hitch, left this one alone, pull these two and this one. They give us one more task here. There's a hole in the bracket that goes right through this clearance hole in the frame, and it's just big enough for a 1/2-inch bolt. from here, you can't tell. This is in fifth wheel travel mode. And we get ready for our truck camper. We just slide this bar in and we can come out about here if we need to, or depending on the truck camper, you can go in a little farther. All right, the passenger side's done. The driver's side is exactly like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out.
Really here? Dougie!
We're a half a mile away. Nice 310-mile drive this morning. A little over 5 hours, and we got to turn around and go right back. So it's gonna be a really long drive day, but it's gonna be worth it, or at least I hope it's gonna be worth it. It's your second home.
My vacation home.
Now I'm gonna have to figure out some kind of little desk or table or something to work on.
Yeah.
Because this is gonna be my workstation, and I'm sure this slides down flat.
Yeah, I think it jackknives down.
Jackknife couch.
That's really been the only thing, just going off pictures, that I've been concerned with is his workstation. That was kind of a big thing for us.
We have more storage than I thought we would. Like that's a decent amount of storage. All right, this is where all the magic happens at once.
We'll do a full walk around later once we get this thing back and kind of get it figured out.
This is just kind of the inspection point. Looks like all the sewer stuff happens here under the back. You got low point drains.
What is that?
This is a CD player.
Finding one with an oven was a pretty big deal. Finding one with a bathroom was a big deal. Finding one with a shower was a big deal.
Now we do have a very small microwave, but we have a microwave nonetheless. So we definitely need to pay some attention to the roof. The roof doesn't look great. I mean, it's obviously not leaking, it's dry.
This is hard. Holy moly, Cody.
What have you done? It's just a little scary to me that the only thing holding this thing on here is 4 metal bars.
We got here at
About 12:30?
12:30. It is 4:15.
Wow, really? Okay.
So sweet to give away their entire day to help us get this thing on, because we ran into a few issues. Cody had the thought, if we look at an older one, is the clearance up above us gonna work?
And I don't know that it would or it wouldn't.
Because trucks were smaller back in the 80s. One thing we didn't think about were the dually fenders.
You put swing out brackets on your jacks so that the jacks don't hit the fenders going through. The trick we got into is where the tie down placement is. The tie downs, when you clamped them in, were going to touch the fenders and vibrate going down the road, so we had to get around that. Once we got it all set up, it seemed to go pretty good. I think it's kind of like the fifth wheel. When we switched from a bumper pull to a fifth wheel, there was an adjustment period, and there's going to be an adjustment period with this. And I can tell you, we probably won't be taking it off and on a whole lot.
From a safety aspect, when we made arrangements to come up and meet them for the truck camper, we reached out to a couple of people who have our GPS location, let them know where we would be, what we're doing, about how long it would take, and then we checked back in with them later and let them know that we were okay.
So we just did an electronic payment because it's always easier if you don't have a bunch of money in your pocket, if that person on the other end of the transaction is kind of shady. If you don't have cash, a little harder to get cash.
We spent $6,500 on this Palomino Maverick. It is a 2011.
And you remembered the model.
That's all I know.
I figured I had so much fun laying on my back in gravel yesterday that I might as well just get back under here today now that the rain's gone and tackle these front brackets. However, on the driver's side of our Ram, we have a parking brake cable that runs all the way down through this bracket, and this is where our new bracket is going to set into. Our new bracket's going to set in here, use the cab mount bolts, and another bracket back here, but we have to route these parking brake cables through the bracket, and this is probably going to be a pain to take this whole apparatus apart. But we're going to learn together.
And together we shall learn.
This is just a metal cable that runs to the back. It's your emergency brake, so it's kind of important, but one thing you always want to do is count the threads on this adjustment screw right here.
Cody ran into his first little hiccup, and let's just say he had to get a little creative.
So the first step in this process is loosening off this adjustment nut for your parking brakes, which is a 13mm nut. That's great. However, you can't get it to take a bite. So we used big old needle nose pliers, which moved the nut. However, I figured out pretty quick it was going to take an hour to get it all the way off. And I bought these little socket sets from Lowe's. They're Cobalt brand, but they have a hole all the way through them. Where we couldn't use a regular socket, we can use this socket.
This view gives you a different perspective.
So now that all this is loose, pop this cable right out like that.
Well, thankfully it has good instructions, because none of this looks like it makes sense how it comes apart or goes together.
Oh, I got it. Finally. All right, now we can get to the fun stuff. So this is ultimately going to mount into the bracket that I'm about to put on. So we've got the bolt, we've got the little flat plate, and it's just going to get tossed into this hole in the frame right here. And we throw it away. That's where the bolt fisher comes in. Okay, so the fronts are a little bit tougher than the back. I'll hold it with my head.
Would now be the appropriate time to say this is not a how-to?
This is not a how-to.
Come here, trash.
Did you find it? Good job with that.
Thanks. You can count on me.
Now, here's the really fun part. We got to get this bolt pulled through, and we got to be able to hold it until we can get the washer and the nut on. But you use your bolt fisher to get the bolt and the plate back there. And the tricky part is right there at the end when you have to unthread the bolt fisher while you're holding the edge of the bolt with the tip of your finger, so you can hurry up and get a nut and a washer on there before you drop it in the frame. We have successfully done it, and we're ready to torque everything down and button this side up. Then it's just a rinse and repeat on the other side. The only difference is we don't have a parking brake cable to deal with, so it should be that much faster. We've got our parking brake cable put back together. The instructions, at least in our application, were very, very good, so you can just read the instructions backwards to get everything put back together. And now we just have to adjust our parking brake cable, and I counted 7 threads, so we've got to go all the way in here and leave 7 threads left over. We had some camp neighbors stop by and talk for a second. I'm going to say that one bracket took me about an hour and 20 minutes. Now the ones on the back, less than an hour. The other side's just rinse and repeat, but I don't have to mess with the brake cable, so I'm optimistic it'll take even less. There is a chance that they can interfere with your running boards if they're not factory running boards. My running boards stick out just a little bit, and it's gonna rub just a hair on that edge cap, but it's right on. It kind of sits right underneath it. So I'm gonna go knock out this other side, and we're ready to go get a truck camper. It's not hard to see them at $50,000, $60,000. This is a part-time deal. This is a hobby camper for us. The other camper's our house. We didn't mind spending a good chunk of money on the house. Well, our goal was to spend about $5,000, and I really thought I could find a great deal on one for $5,000. Not so much. We definitely wanted one that was hard-sided. We were looking at some pretty nasty truck campers with big evidence of water leaks, or they needed a major repair just to be able to go out day one. I feel like we did okay at $6,500. I don't think we'll get hurt.
We figured out pretty early on that we could spend $10,000 to $12,000 or more and get something that met all of our wants and needs.
And looked a little nicer. Somebody made me stick to a budget.
Non-negotiable was the hard side, not the pop-up, a bathroom and a shower, a real one, even if it was a wet bath.
And it's a wet bath.
And it's a wet bath. Seating for Cody's work was important. We didn't, I mean, it comes with the table somehow, some way. We're gonna have to figure that out. That's an important one that we didn't really get on our non-negotiable.
I think for starters, I'm gonna be working Indian style on the couch.
No water damage, which I think we successfully did. Now for our preferences. This is still a very small fridge for what we're used to, so that's gonna change a lot on how we plan for meals.
But some of them had like the really small, like
one tray.
Like our outdoor fridge on the fifth wheel. And that would have been really, I'm not saying we couldn't have made it work, but it would have been tough.
We preferred fiberglass siding over metal.
Some of them have slide outs. Sometimes 2 slide outs.
And although the slide out options were really nice, because it gives you a lot of room, I don't want to have to unplug and pull slides in and do all that early in the morning.
To go to the gym and then come back and put it all back out again. And since we were looking at stuff that was significantly older than what we're used to, one less thing to go wrong. $12,100. 2,740 pounds is what we just added on.
Fast food isn't something we get to do very often with the RV. You can kind of feel it wobbling side to side almost. Our bellies are full. We've got 183 miles to go. The dogs got to stretch their legs and get some business done. And I think we're gonna just book it in.
It's gonna be about 10 o'clock when we get in. Not bad for a 600-mile drive day. It is. I lost the keys already once. What have we done?
This is where we relearn how to RV.
We didn't do a walkthrough yesterday, so we want to take you guys through our second home.
This is the Palomino Maverick M8801. It is a Forest River product. And from what I can tell, the Palomino Mavericks, this year model, which is a 2011, does have the Asdel, which is really nice.
We got some goodies with it. A power cord. Oh, and he gave me the 110 adapter. So that's one less thing I have to order. I used to have all this 30 amp stuff back when I had 30 amp trailers. Then I thought, I'll never have a 30 amp trailer again. Got rid of it all. They gave us some steps. I did not know that a lot of truck campers don't come with steps.
That's another preference item that we didn't mention. Electric jacks are kind of difficult to find, and these had them. They're old, but they gave us a remote with them, so we're gonna get those things figured out.
So there's a whole lot about these things I didn't know. The other thing is, if you're gonna clear these big wide hips on this dually, you need swing out jack brackets. So
which they also had.
Which they also had already bought. They just hadn't put them on. So now when we take the camper off the truck or put it on, I don't have to worry about scraping here. Another wonderful upgrade we got as part of this package deal are these TORKLIFT fast gun turnbuckle tie downs. I didn't pay for these. These came with the camper, thank goodness. Just go click on it just to see how much some of this stuff is. Some of this stuff for the truck campers is really expensive. It seems like the smaller you go, the bigger the price is, but I'm really happy to have these. Later on when we take it off the truck, I'll walk through how all of this works. To be honest, I'm still getting used to it.
The reason it took us so many hours to get this done is we had to keep adjusting this back. Thankfully, we have enough truck that we weren't really worried about the weight distribution as much. So we pushed this back in order to clear this, because this much space forward would put that bar right here.
And it would never not touch going down the highway.
It would never not touch.
We did drag it 300 miles down the road yesterday, and these bars don't touch.
We were pretty anxious about that every time we stopped. We were like, oh, please tell me it didn't stop. Because you see the movement. It's obviously moving, but so far.
But I am going to reach out to TORKLIFT and see if they have another product that maybe just makes this situation a little better.
Come on in and we'll show you. I think we can all fit.
I think by the time I step in, we're at max capacity.
We need to figure out where a lot of things are.
And where a lot of things are going to go.
We're going to take this thing on its maiden voyage, because just dropping it off is boring.
So we're going to give ourselves one day to figure out if everything works and what we need to put in this for power, water, and sewer and all that good stuff.
Here's our battery.
You found the battery?
It is an EverStart
Oh, good.
Marine RV, and it is one battery.
It's one battery. Stove, microwave. You have a decent amount of cabinet space.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then this is probably the nicest thing in the whole house once we clean it out. Now, I don't know if you want to use that for clothes or pantry stuff. It's actually quite a bit of storage under there. Even though the front cap looks like it's beat up, and I'm not sure if they hit something or what, there's no evidence of water damage in this rig. On the inside at all. We do have a pretty killer vent in the bedroom. Did you see how massive this vent is, Ange? If anything were to leak in the future, I'm probably really worried about this. Oh! Pardon you in your wet bath.
That's going to be a new experience for us.
We have a whopping 27 gallons of fresh water. So that's not going to go very far.
But how tall are you?
I am right at 6 foot. And I can stand up in here fine.
It's a little tight. Our next task is to plug it in, make sure that all the running things run, and then we're going to start cleaning and getting this thing packed up and kind of decide what we need.
You have to have it open for it to work.
So our travels are obviously going to change a little bit, how we plan, how we travel. Maybe instead of searching for those campsites without trees, we search for campsites with trees. So why did we do this when we have a perfectly good RV?
Well, we met some people down in Waco, Texas that shared their experience with us that when they went full-time, they did the first 18 months or 2 years in a truck bed camper. And they went to all the places that they couldn't go in a bigger camper. But throughout hanging out with them and just listening to their stories and just the different experience that it brought them and being able to camp on a random mountain in a boondock spot or on a beach in a boondock spot, which is really strange because 6 months ago we were sure looking at 45-foot toy haulers.
I definitely don't want to live in one. I originally started looking at truck campers because Isaac was doing a lot of stuff kind of cross country with his business. And I thought, how nice would it be for him to have an RV on top of his truck where he can use that as a place to stay and not have to buy a hotel.
So other reasons behind all the good reasons is there is an issue or a suspected issue on my part with the fifth wheel. Nothing crazy, nothing detrimental, but if it's going the way that I think it's going, we're probably going to have to get out of it for a bit. And that's something we were talking about. You know, what would we do if we had to get out of our fifth wheel to have, say, a major repair done where we're going to be down weeks or maybe several weeks? We don't know. And we thought, well, maybe we'll just rent something.
We thought, you know what, we could capitalize on this moment and do something different that we normally wouldn't have an opportunity to do, like a smaller camper of some sort. So we started looking at prices. Suffice to say, on a truck camper, a small RV of some sort, you get into camper vans and it's a whole different thing. But maybe a Class C, if I'm being very generous, you're going to pay anywhere from $100 to $200 a night. That's a lot of money to span over, let's say, 2 weeks of time. And so we started running the numbers and we thought, we could spend this amount of money, do the very same thing. If we get done with it and don't like it, we flip it. And if we break even or lose a small amount, we still win.
And so we thought, here's a way that we can cover our bets, have a second home to go to if our first home has to go down for any period of time, and we'll have some cash value in it. And if everything works out great, maybe we'd love it. Maybe we do something crazy with it and we just keep using it off and on. But to reaffirm Angela's point earlier, we're not moving into this, not on a permanent basis anyway. And as far as the issues go with our fifth wheel, it's nothing catastrophic. It's not going to put us down right now. It's just something we're going to have to deal with eventually. So our goal is to continue doing what we're doing and worry about that in the fall. As soon as I know and kind of have it all wrapped up in a box where I can walk through it, we'll kick all that information out to you guys.
So I'm excited to step out of our comfort zone a little bit, travel a little differently, and maybe hit some of those places that we normally don't have an opportunity to hit.
We're leaving tomorrow. We're giving ourselves 24 hours to get this thing ready for its first trip.
Or maybe Wednesday. I might need more time.
She keeps giving herself an out.
I need time.
Now, I still need to come out here and sanitize the freshwater system. I still need to make sure the water heater's up to snuff. There's a few things I still need to do from a functional basis to be ready to go.
Yay!
Ah, dang it.
We figured it out.
So from the outside inspection, the first thing I noticed is that these speakers are shot. And they got holes in them. I am worried about a little bit of a water leak risk here, so we're going to order some new speakers. They're not even hooked up.
Nope. Oh, really?
Yeah. There's no water intrusion back here, which kind of surprises me. I was kind of afraid of what I was going to see when I took this off. I think I'm more worried about the don't drive off checklist, like don't drive off with this attached. I'm kind of worried about this one.
How about I move old Brown?
How about you move old Brown?
Oh.
I don't know when the last time anyone ran water through this. So, to be safe, we're going to sanitize the fresh water tank.
We're spoiled, y'all. We know it. We recognize it. This would be a major obstacle. A quarter. Is that on laundry day?
We'll run the antifreeze out and we'll do our flush at the same time. I just can't for the life of me figure out where this darn water's coming from. You want to see a new problem?
Not really.
Or were you wanting to show me something?
Well, I can show you something. I found a quarter and some earrings or something.
Awesome. So I went to go in here and see if it was bypassed and to check the anode rod, which I'm sure has probably never been changed. The jack's up against the door. When I need to service this water heater, I'm gonna have to take the jack motor off. It's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine. I have no clue how I broke it. I just broke it more.
It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine.
The owners of this camper did a few cool things to it. I don't know if it was the owner or the previous owner, but they did give me a sewer tube here, which I'm pretty excited about. Oh, what? That's a coffee can. On the end of
what's on the other side?
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, it has a connection.
It has a connection. You know where this would look great? In that black garbage can over there. Sanitization's pretty easy and everybody's done a video on it, so I'm not gonna kill it, but I put my bleach solution in the fresh water tank. I filled it all the way up. I want it to slosh around when I'm driving to the gym tomorrow. And then we're just gonna open all these valves until all the antifreeze comes out and we can smell bleach. We'll close the valve for a minimum of 4 hours. We'll probably get 16, 18 hours before we have to flush it. Tell me when you smell bleach.
All right, what's next? Propane sniffer.
Propane sniffer. I've had this thing for a while.
We bought it when our CO2 detector in the kitchen was acting up and going off all the time. You don't want to blow that off. But we took the propane sniffer, made sure there wasn't an issue and a leak, and as far as we could tell, there wasn't. So then we did research, found out that they go bad. So we replaced it at that point.
Some of the nicer, like Lance and Arctic Wolves, had 30s. These have dual 20s. And I have concerns about getting them filled because they're over 10 years old. But I think I can get them recertified. If not, I might have to replace them, but we're gonna find out. And we're gonna run this sniffer all around our lines. We know that one's good. I'm gonna open this one. So we got a little while to figure out whether we need to buy new tanks or not. But since we have these on, let's go inside and check around the other gas-related stuff. And fun fact, the right kind of black tank odor will set these off too. See, it works. And your gas to your oven works. I'll go around outside and do what I can to check the water heater since I can't get to it.
Sometimes change can be a good thing. Doesn't have to be scary. It can be scary.
You look warm. You about ready to test that air conditioner?
We should have done that first.
Let's see what she'll do with the OUPES Mega 2. I miss the 30 amp days. These cords are so light. You may be full-time in a truck camper before you know it, just because it makes my life easier. We all know that I'm just one for roughing it.
Yeah, he's always up for a good inconvenience.
Let's see if the air works.
Yes, let's.
We have one lead acid battery underneath this jackknife couch. I've got to figure that out. And earlier it was sitting on about a half. And now that we're plugged into the OUPES, we're showing full, which tells me my battery converter charger is working great. And I don't have an issue there. Microwave works. We can run our Coleman Mach 15s off the OUPES, or at least one at a time, before we had soft starts for about an hour, hour and a half. So we want to go cool. Think we knocked something loose. Might be a good idea to get up there and clean that AC real good. Seeing that stuff keeps flying.
Ah!
Those are dead bug shells.
Oh, gross.
It's cooling off.
Is it really?
Yeah, I gotta go see what kind of watts it's pulling though, just out of curiosity. So it's pulling a little over 1,300 watts, and that's with the battery charger and the AC.
I'm just a little grossed out by the continual raining of the bugs.
Yeah, well, they'll all get out of there. This might work. That might work. I really thought I'd be buying an air conditioner almost immediately. OUPES is saying it has 53 minutes left in the tank. We got the AC going, it's charging the batteries. It's probably about right. But if it was really hot and we just needed to cool it off so we could go to sleep, that'll get it done.
You know why people normally take a maiden voyage or a shakedown trip, right? Besides us learning our rig and learning what we need and learning how it works, it's also to see if anything's wrong. Make sure everything works appropriately. Apparently our air conditioner shroud was not holding on very well. Thankfully it did not fall off while we were going down the road where it could have hit another car. It did, however, fall off while we were at the laundromat trying to wrap up a few things, make sure we have some clean clothes for this next trip, but it clipped the truck on the way down. The nearest camper shops around here do not have what we need, and we have a lot of rain coming. So we need to figure this one out. So maybe this is as good a time as any to wrap this video up. We appreciate you guys coming along on this particular journey with us. Make sure you check your subscribe button to see where we go next with this thing, because we are about to take her out on her maiden voyage. We do want to wish all of those fathers, stepfathers, and father figures out there a happy Father's Day.
So we're kind of talking to you. So we're talking to you guys from the future, or no, that'd be from the past. How should I do this? And where did we get this? Or how should I initiate this? Came down time to order these. And we do that.
Possible. Make a U-turn.
Check out our bedroom. We got a big vent up there.
This is where the other magic happens.
Wait. I hope the magic can happen in such a small space.
Nix that clip.
Can the magic happen in such a small space? Oh, look, you have a drawer. That's where we play. Cody lays on his back and figures out what size socket he needs. Where's those two nuts that I said I trust you with? Can you get them out? I'm holding this entire bracket up, waiting on a...
You can't spare a forehead?
Yonda. That we got as part of this.
Your feet are dirty.
I don't show my dirty feet. It'll look good parked here this winter, won't it? The awning doesn't come out.
So we might have a problem there.
I got a problem with the awning.
Did you release your sides?
Is there a side release?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And then come on, Cody.
And this thing probably hasn't been used in years. Come on now. Come on now. Ended up fine.
Oh, well, if it wasn't broken before.
It's broken now. All right. Just help me with my back. Here. Let's put that in the camera. Let's put that in the camper. We'll just put that in the camera.
I had a feeling when I saw those zip ties.
Nothing bothers me more than inefficiency. Shouldn't need much to. Oh man! All right, let it go. See what it does. Ah!
It was a worthy attempt.
I broke my glasses.
We did want to wish you. We did want to. What was the other thing I was going to say? Yay!
Don't lose this apparatus. That's an important apparatus. Whatever that apparatus does is important. Finish the tour. You didn't finish the tour. They've only seen the living room.
Oh, I'm checking out the jackknife couch. Ah! Oh no! Look at how much hair just pulled out of my head. That's gonna be my nemesis.